week of April 11th, 2021. Welcome to your weekly patch notes, the show where we bring you the video game news you need to know about. My name is Cesar Torres,
I'm Jose Ruckus, aka the world's #1 Wild Aces fan.
and let's jump into your weekly patch notes. So today is April 11th. Do you know what day that is today, McKenna?
Sunday.
It's a Sunday. It usually is. Jose, do you have any idea what today is?
It is National Pinochle Day.
No, not even close. Today is National Barbershop Quartet Day.
Well, that's unfortunate because there's only 3 of us here, so we can't
No,
we
do
can't
it.
celebrate.
Oh. Today is also National 8-Track Tape Day. So if you can listen to your barbershop quartet songs on your 8-track, today's the day for you.
I do that all the time.
Yeah, I was gonna say it's
All I
perfect
listen
for
to,
those who
all
can
I
do
listen
that.
to is barbershop quartet music on my 8-track tapes.
Oh yeah.
Today's also National Submarine Day, not National Sub Sandwich Day, just the ship. This is under career and obscure.
Well,
So if it was the
So
sandwich,
it's celebrating being on a submarine.
I guess, because if it was a sandwich, it would be under food, right?
I would assume so,
Suppose.
unless it's
Yeah.
you're celebrating a career of making submarine sandwiches.
True.
what if you're making submarine sandwiches in a submarine?
It's the only proper way to celebrate the holiday.
Also, a day where all of us can celebrate is National Pet Day. Jose, you got some pets, right?
I have 3 dogs.
McKenna just got some ducks.
I
Here they are
got
on the
2
screen.
ducks.
I have, how many pets do I have? I got 7 pets right now. Busy day at my house.
Outriders released last week, and the release was an interesting one to say the least. If you don't know, Outriders is an online game that can be played both as a single-player and multiplayer game. Not many games have you play single-player online, but Outriders is an exception. Over the Easter weekend when Outriders came out, many players reported issues trying to log into the servers, and even in-game issues, such as not having a HUD on screen when they first log in. People Can Fly, the studio behind Outriders, has been working all week, even through the weekend, to try to get the game in a better place. In a post on Reddit, they discussed the issues the game has been experiencing and how they are dealing with it. Quote, "We're committed to full transparency with you. We were in fact debugging a complex issue with why some metric calls were bringing down our externally housed database." Adding, "We reconfigured the database cache cleanup operations to run more often with fewer resources, which in turn has a desired result of everything generally running at a very comfortable capacity." And in a separate Reddit post, they announced that for players that played in the game in the first 12 days, they would receive special appreciation packages in-game, the details of which are unclear, but it's still pretty cool to see.
So you've been playing Outriders, right?
I have been playing a lot.
What has been your experience with the game?
I really like it, but it's got a lot of problems. I have been experiencing the issue where I log in and I don't have a HUD. So
Yeah.
there is a quick fix for that, fortunately, which is you go in and you turn off every HUD setting, then you log out, then you log back in, you turn on every HUD setting, then you log out, then you log back in, and you have a HUD. So you have to log in 3 times every time you want to play the game.
Very quick fix. You
Yeah,
only need to
yeah,
log
yeah.
in 3 times.
That's a problem, but also, I'm playing on PC, which unfortunately means I can't play with a lot of my friends because crossplay was disabled. That sucks, but I am still really enjoying the game. I'm still playing it.
According to Jeff Grubb from VentureBeat, Hideo Kojima, the beloved video game developer, known for games like Metal Gear and Death Stranding, is reportedly in talks with Xbox to publish his next big game. This is a pretty big deal because even though he's had several games published on Xbox, most of his games he's directed have been PlayStation exclusives, including his most recent game, Death Stranding. So to take a step away from PlayStation and have an exclusive game on Xbox is huge. In recent years, Xbox has been trying to reach Japanese audiences by hosting Japanese digital events and bringing popular games such as the Yakuza franchise to Games Pass. So bringing one of the most respected Japanese directors to their platform might help a lot. But for now, nothing is official, but it is all still exciting to hear about. Intel has announced that it has developed an AI that when used in gaming voice chats will detect and censor slurs, and the slurs are divided into categories and have sliders to determine how much of a severity you hear the slurs. For example, the categories are ableism and body shaming, aggression, LGBTQIA+ hate, misogyny, name-calling, racism and xenophobia, sexually explicit language, swearing, and white nationalism. All of these categories have sliders for you to choose how often you hear them. on a scale from none to some to most to all. And there's an extra category for just the N-word. And this category doesn't have a slider, rather, it's just an on and off switch. It's a very interesting announcement that they made back in March and nobody really talked about. It could be very helpful when filtering what you hear in voice chats on these multiplayer games. While there is no set release date yet, be sure to look for this in the coming year. It is reported that the 2014 hit game The Last of Us is getting a remake for the PlayStation 5. This is a very interesting news because The Last of Us just got a remaster for the PlayStation 4 several years ago, and last Friday it came out that a pitch for a sequel to Days Gone was rejected, and part of the Sony Bend Studios, the team responsible for Days Gone, was told to help Naughty Dog with 2 of their projects, one of them being Uncharted. As of right now, we don't know when the remake is coming out, but it is very interesting because apparently it's real and it's happening. Deathloop has been officially delayed again.
Oh, I'm so mad. Well, I'm not mad. I understand why they did it, but as long as it's not 2022.
For reference to anybody that's listening, McKenna and I are in this like fantasy league of video games, and we picked a bunch of like games that were supposed to come out this year. Depending how they do on reviews, we get points. Deathloop was like McKenna's second game that she picked.
Oh, it was my first game. I got it right out of the
gate. It was the first one.
It was my first game.
And Deathloop just keeps getting pushed and pushed and pushed.
As long as it's not 2022. You know, I want that game to be the best that it can be, as long as it's in 2021.
Deathloop has been officially delayed again. This time being pushed all the way back to September 14th, 2021, saying in a tweet, "We are committed to the quality and preserving our team's ambitions to Deathloop. While ensuring the health and safety to everyone at Arcane, we apologize for the extended wait and thank you all for your passion and excitement." Jose, you're a fan of Seinfeld, right?
Oh, huge fan of Seinfeld.
Huge fan, massive fan. Apparently there's something in Jerry's apartment that we don't want to see. There is a game in development that is a remake of a previous game that has already been made called Seinfeld, and it's a horror game that takes place in Jerry Seinfeld's apartment.
Well, this is interesting.
This is a real thing, and it's a remake. So it already happened. Somebody already made this game. How do you feel about playing a horror game in Jerry Seinfeld's apartment?
Interesting question. No, thank you, I think.
It's also very scary when you add the fact that the hallway that leads into Jerry Seinfeld's apartment cannot exist.
I saw that.
That's
I
weird,
saw that on Twitter, yeah.
McKenna, how do you feel about all these scary Jerry Seinfeld facts?
It's scarier day by day. This week, terrifying.
This year, E3 is hosting a digital event that will be free, and this week they announced their partners that'll be a part of it. The event is going to include Nintendo, Xbox, Capcom, Konami, Ubisoft, Take-Two Interactive, Warner Brothers, and Koch Media. This is a very impressive lineup, and they will all have something to show at this event. Does this mean we're getting a new Nintendo Direct, an Xbox Showcase, or just small announcements? We'll just have to wait and see, but for now, all we know is that these are the partners for E3 and that it's slated to take place from June 12th to June 15th. Is there anything you two want to see at E3 this year?
Seinfeld.
On the big stage, Seinfeld.
Seinfeld in the Nintendo Direct.
I wouldn't mind them announcing that I can finally buy a PlayStation 5 or Xbox Series S. That would be a good one.
I want for Xbox to announce that they're actually making consoles and not just lying to me. Thank you for checking out this week's episode of Patch Notes.
You can follow me on Twitter at AcesWildPod. I also stream on Twitch, twitch.tv/Jose Ruckus. I host the Aces Wild podcast, which comes out every Wednesday. You can find it on all major podcasting services, as well as YouTube.
You can follow the show at Patch Notes Vids on Twitter. You can follow me at Caesar Towers. You can follow McKenna, our wonderful editor, at PotterPants212. Thanks for checking us out, and be sure to tune in next week when we give you your weekly Patch Notes.